Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. And today I am really happy to bring to you from the Transformers Authentics line. This is Alpha Class Megatron version 2, or 2.0 if we want to be cool and savvy. What that means is if you remember, some years ago I presented to you the original Alpha and Bravo class Megatron, which at the time, in my opinion, was based on the Thrilling 30 Legends class Megatron design. This one is based more on the evergreen designs that have come up since then that you see on generic Transformers packaging and uh, you know items and stuff like that, like jewelry or pencils. Clearly, though, um, much like it was on the show, this is borrowing. Well, I should say the Cyberverse Megatron was a altered version of the evergreen design. Hence why this looks a lot like, and it transforms a lot like the Cyberverse Megatrons we had back then. Um, for you phone people, another way of looking at it is the Cyberverse Megatron from the cartoon and toy line was Samsung's version of the Android operating system. This right here is Google's pure unaltered version of Android, basically the evergreen design as it was meant to be. Also, don't be surprised if the upcoming Studio Series 86 Megatron, if the rumors are true, um, transforms into something similar, but a more 80s style. Now, before we get too far into the figures, I do want to bring in the packaging because I when these were first revealed, I think back in September, I was having a hard time telling the difference between the original and these new releases. Now, Megatron is a completely different design, completely different toy. The problem is those original authentic figures are all coming in boxes now. If they were still coming on blister cards, it'd be that much easier to tell. The easiest way to tell the difference, and I had to go and check pictures, is that there's this blue section here right now on the Alpha and Bravo class figures, no matter who they are. So if you see this blue coloring, that's a newer version. Now, that's not to say people are making mistakes. I actually bought a Bumblebee thinking it was the new Bravo Bumblebee 2.0, where um, after purchasing it, the pictures on the listing changed. I think the seller realized they made a mistake, and it was that original version. I was able to get my money back, but there you go. So just a quick look at the back here, you know, 13 steps, but I'm going to show you how to do it so you don't have to worry about that. So yeah, um, now if you're familiar with Authentics toys, then you kind of know a lot of things hold in place based on friction, and that friction isn't too tight. The plastic is very thin, and there's not as many connecting joints as you would like. For example, this whole rear section holds together with the turret pegging together. This front section pegs into the shoulders. This flap where my thumb is right now is just floating there. So to start the transformation, go ahead, save yourself the trouble of doing it later. Rotate these missile batteries back. That's those side missile batteries. That's when I knew 100% this was the Cyberverse Megatron. Well, which we knew was using the Evergreen designs. Next, go ahead and remove the the barrel of the cannon, which obviously will become the fusion cannon in robot mode. Very nice. I really like this. This looks really good. Now, what you want to do is split here at the turret. And again, and I'll show you right here. You kind of figure that there would be some tab or slot here that would lock in and help hold these hips into place. And there really isn't. It feels like there's like a little bit of a friction lock there on this inside joint. And we're going to talk about that in a second because straighten this out and you're actually going to lock that into place there at the side. And let me just tell you, that's not going to stay. So rotate at what will now be the knee joint, push the leg back into place, flip up these panels, and you might also, before you do that, want to reach in and start pushing out the foot. That'll help. Again, these don't peg in anywhere, these side panels. They just um, they just hold there based on friction. Turn the figure over, rotate uh, these side panels forward, and then rotate the cannon, the missile batteries into place so they're facing forward. You can't articulate them as you want. And as you can see, those little clicks to hold the thighs in place. Um, I'm sorry, the shins. They do like to pop. And let me just do a little adjusty, and bring that up. Trying to keep this as simple as possible. Go ahead, pull the arms out just like so. Rotate them down. Now, what I'm going to show you, the instructions show you doing with the arms up. First of all, this is how the figure come. The figure comes with the shoulder pads down. You want to have in the packaging, so you obviously want to fold them up, and then bring out the fist. And there's an elbow joint right there. So do it again on this side. Boom, boom. Come around the back. This double hinges down, doesn't peg into place, and then rotate Megatron's head around. We're just about finished. Uh, peg those legs back in, take the fusion cannon. You're going to use that second peg right there, and there it goes. Now, right off the bat, yeah, some of the joints feel a little loose. That's the nature of the beast. But I got to say, overall, this Megatron looks a lot better than the original Alpha Megatron. You do have a lot more articulation. The fists are on ball joints, so you do get some rotation. Although, if I'm being honest, there are times where I feel like I'm just going to shear the fist off. You have the lateral arm movement, swivel, because that's on a ball joint. You have the elbow joint, no waist joint, but you do have hips, that knee. And of course, if you bend the knee, you're going to end up having to like pop that shin back into place. The feet are naturally molded in an A stance, and the head, I think, is on a ball joint, or it's just there's a natural waggle there from the peg. So, yeah. Is this the best Megatron? No. Obviously, there's a lot of issues. Like I said, they're very, very loose. Um, that locking joint there, at least on my copy, likes to pop. Um, but you do have this like the missile batteries here you can pose around. I want to say there's a little bit more color and detail. I like the silver and gray. So this really is like a cool Megatron. It's roughly, I don't want to say it's Voyager class. I say it's a little bit larger than Deluxe, but you can have some fun with it. Just keep in mind that, like with this panel back here, that's being held in friction by friction. Um, the top turret piece is here, held in by friction. So it might just loosen up over time with play. But overall, I'm happy to have this figure. I don't know if it's going to replace the original Megatron, which the alpha version, which was really brilliant. I thought that was a good Megatron at the time, just overall. I don't know in terms of stability if this is any better, but in terms of looks and articulation, It certainly is. Now, obviously, you do see the hollow pieces and stuff like that. To me, that's kind of small potatoes when you're looking at the price you're paying. This was what, like $10? I got this off of eBay from Hasbro Toy Shop. So this is like a $10 figure, transforms really nicely. So yeah. Um, I think I'm just going to end it right there. We're not going to pause for final thoughts because I kind of gave them to you. This is a fun figure. I enjoy it. Um, let's take, I mean, real quick, a look up at that head sculpt right there. I mean, that's not that bad. That's really that Cyberverse design coming through. So yeah, like I said, Hasbro Toy Shop just put these up on their eBay store. That's the only place I know to get these, except for Amazon. But Amazon still has the original um, authentic figures listed. And what I'm concerned about, and I've had this problem before, they might use the older photos for the newer stock. So right now, in my opinion, the best way to pick up Megatron, would be to go through the Hasbro Toy Shop on eBay. It's free shipping. I think after tax, it came out to like 1086, 1088. So all in all, it was a good figure and a solid purchase. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe. I always appreciate the views, but the likes, comments, and subscriptions help communicate to YouTube through the algorithm. Blah, 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 blah. You know the spiel. You get it from a dozen other channels. Look, I'll be honest. I don't like that many videos because I usually watch it on my television, and it's a pain in the butt to like have to use the remote to like scroll down and like it. And then I mean I could always go through my history and like, but one at a time. So I get it if you don't do that. Just watch and that'll be fine. If you really want to help, I do have a Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. And the reason I do that is if I was able to give you guys the prizes, the rewards, and all that stuff, I wouldn't need a Patreon. That's the bottom line. So as I always say, no thrills, no tears, no special rewards. You're just helping me get figures like Megatron, keep up the infrastructure of the channel. We're having a good old time. This is June. This is like June 5th, June 6th. I'm recording this, uh, possibly even later because I don't know how to tell time. Well, that's because later in this month I have a birthday and it's a major milestone. So, yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Yep. But you know what? If when I start to feel old, that's when you guys get if I have to suffer, you have to suffer vlogs. So, yeah, maybe you might get a couple more of those soon. But overall, once again, Megatron, Authentics Megatron from the Alpha class, great figure. Be careful when if you're looking to buy it. Make sure you're getting this one. If it doesn't look like the Cyberverse figure, then it's not the right one. But for what it is, I think it's fine. So that's about it. Once again, it's your old pal Chuck for Megatron. We will see you